So this question has us rank 3 different situations from least to greatest, depending on moving one object, one crate, with the same force, but in 3 different directions. So we want to know from least to greatest, the friction force on the surface. So when I look at this choice 3, I'm going to look at the number of forces that are on it. Well, I'm going to have some weight force pointing down on it. I'm going to have a normal force from the floor pointing up on it, and I'm going to have an applied force of 10 newtons pulling up on it. It's not moving left and right, so in this case, the force of friction is going to be equal to 0. There's nothing to try to move it sideways to the right or to the left, nothing forcing it in those directions. Friction is going to be horizontal in this case because it's perpendicular to the normal force, or it's parallel to the surface. So the friction force is going to be 0. So I'm pretty sure that 3 has to be the first answer. So I can eliminate out choice 2 and choice 1 because nothing can have a magnitude less than 0. Magnitudes are all positive. So now it's a choice of, is this one bigger or is that one bigger? Well, if I were to look at the free body diagrams for these, I have a weight force in both of them. I have a normal force in both of them. And in one case, I have a friction or applied force of 10 newtons. And in another case, I have a purely horizontal applied force of 10 newtons. And again, we're going to have a friction force pointing in the backwards direction, trying to slow this down. So if I just look at the pictures, the more this one pulls up, the less it is in the horizontal direction. This is all in the horizontal direction, which means the friction force is pulling directly on this one. And we're dealing with it where it doesn't move. So we're looking at the static case, which means that the left-right motion has to be equal to 0. In the horizontal direction, it has to be 0. In the vertical direction, it has to be 0. So if I pull more on the horizontal, I have to have more friction pulling on it. So the case that I think is the most is case 1, because it is the one with the most horizontal force that has to be countered by friction. So I'm saying 3 is the least, and 1 is the most. So I have answer choice D as the correct answer. From least 3, then 2, and the most is going to be when we're pulling perfectly horizontal.